Monday morning at Brick Arena HQ, and this place is an absolute bomb site. There's stuff all over and it needs a really good tidy up. We've got mail sacks just dumped in here after picking them up from the depot. All sorts of minifigure bits and pieces everywhere. Used road plates that had been on my own city, need to get the tiles off there. Boxes of minifig parts to put away, used bulk everywhere, sets to be parted out. And the worst thing of everything is my desk is still covered in minifigs and minifig parts, but we need to get on. It's Monday morning, so we need to focus on getting the orders for the day out. So we've got 7 orders there waiting to be shipped on Bricklink, and 4 on Brick Owl, and then on eBay we've got 6 items to go as well. So I need to go and get these packed, and then I think I'm going to spend a bit of time tidying up just for my own sanity before I start working on some other things. Got lots and lots to do this week. We're going to be parting out the Star Wars sets. Already got the figures listed on eBay, and I really need to start and get some of the bulk that I've sorted out sorted a little further into size and categories, and yeah, get them into the store as well. More used parts on here, and I've got a nice little addition to the store coming tomorrow, which I want to get tidied up for, so I can get that in place and hopefully start improving my workflow as well. So gonna get this mess cleaned up, and well, let's see how that improves later in the day. First order of sheep going out the door today. In fact, there's 2 orders. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 for one order, and another one for another. Both on eBay, so happy to see these moving as quickly as they are, and yeah, almost wish I'd got more. This Imperial soldier, the blue coat, going out the door today via eBay. Always nice to see these pirate related figures. Love the pirate theme, and was always one of my favorite themes as a kid, sort of playing with Lego. I know that a lot of people want more representation of the pirates coming back into Lego, and I know that Lego have really probably tried to do that with the release of the Great Ideas set that was out with the Barracuda Bay, and one of the classic sets that they've brought out recently, both with, I think they've done it with the pirates and also the with the classic castle stuff. So it's a way of sort of drip feeding those themes back into mainstream Lego, and really pleased to see them coming back. Another delivery just arrived, so let's take a look and see what we've got inside this one. And looks a pretty big box for what's inside, so hopefully you can see. Now this is just 2 of the Infinity Gauntlet, which is, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I'm not sure whether I like it or not, but there's lots of good gold parts in here, and I got these from Costco, and unfortunately they only allowed you to get 2, which was a shame, because they were a great price at about £39. But I had to wait over a week for them to be delivered because of the shortage of delivery drivers. I'm not sure. I did try, and order a couple more, but they won't allow you. They just tell you that you've reached your maximum purchase amount. I wonder if now that I've received these, whether that'll still be the case, or whether I could go and order a couple more, but I couldn't find anywhere else that was anything like the price of these. So not sure what I'm going to do yet, whether I'm going to part them out now or wait until I get a few more of them. If they're still in my part out backlog and I've not gotten to them and I see some cheaper, then I'll probably buy some more. Otherwise it'll just be parting out a couple of them, which I never really like to do. Obviously we want to get higher volumes, 5-10 of the same set, even more sometimes, but if we need to, we'll just part the two. I get lots of people reaching out to me asking me how I sync my inventory between Bricklink and Brick Owl, and I have been using BrickSync for quite some time now, literally since I set up my Brick Owl store some years ago, and I have to say that it's worked flawlessly for me. But there are a couple of downsides to it. One is that the interface is not amazing. It's for me, I run on a Mac and I run it in a terminal. I think the screenshot is from Linux. Windows is exactly the same. I'm not sure what programs you run it in on those systems, but for me on the Mac, I run it in a terminal window and it's all text-based. It is quite informative and really good, but it's not the prettiest of programs. The big plus, of course, with BrickSync is that it is free. And so that's one of the main draws for me, I must admit. There have actually been a couple of problems when new colors are added to the Lego color palette, and the colors are just not available in BrickSync. And I have had to wait until someone has sort of recompiled new versions of the program for use, particularly on a Mac, especially since Macs are probably less common than Windows machines, so it takes a little while for it to filter through to the Mac system. So those are a couple of negatives, I guess. The other big negative is that you need this to be running constantly on a machine 24/7, connected to the internet, and that's probably the main reason that people dislike this particular system. I run it on a separate MacBook that I have from my main computer, and I just leave that running constantly. That's the machine I use to part out, etc. But I have to say that I think the time has probably come for me to switch over and move to Brick Freedom. Now, I haven't signed up for this yet, so I'm gonna kind of take you through this on the vlog and go through the sign up process probably, and not sure how much of that I'm going to be able to show you. So one of my reasons for doing this, the main driver, I guess, is stability. As I said, with BrickSync, you need it running on a machine constantly, and I just want to ensure that, if I'm away from home or whatever, I don't need to constantly be checking my MacBook Pro to make sure that it's running without any problems. The other thing is just, with the energy cost rises that are going up, just keeping the machine running is needlessly using energy. So that's another negative. But the other thing is just the modern looking interface to this and some of the features that appear to be available in Brick Freedom. And I have to say, I don't know a ton about the feature set. I know obviously it's syncing your inventory, it shows you all of your orders in one place, etc. There are some things like automation of feedback for orders and things like that, but I'm not really up to date on all of the features, I must say. So I'm going to be clicking on the sign up here, and I'm not going to show you my details here, but I'm going to agree to the terms and join Brick Freedom, and we'll see what happens. So I've completed the sign up process, and I've received this email telling me that I'm now in a queue, and that they'll be in touch when my system is set up. I presume, I guess they do this because there's some manual settings that need to be done on the server side, and they're saying here that they don't want to degrade performance for other people on the system, which is good, of course. Now, if I show you this is the screen that I get after signing up. So I'm not sure what I can actually do with these, whether I can actually set things up now or not. Seems a little odd if my, you know, place in the queue, etc. is not ready yet. I'm not quite sure about that. So I'll go through it anyway, and go and set my account up, and see what else I can do, and await confirmation of being set up. I haven't received any further communication from Brick Freedom. It's only been about 20 minutes or so since I registered for the service, and what puzzles me a little bit is if I click on, you know, check the queue, then it doesn't take me to any queue message at all. So I do wonder if this is an outdated email for when they had a large volume of people wanting to join Brick Freedom, and that maybe now it's all enabled immediately. And I've also been able to connect both of my stores up, and I've not actually enabled the integration yet. I'm going to do that. I'll try that probably in a minute or so, but I want to just go and disable my Brick Sync software to make sure that nothing strange is happening there as well. So I've clicked the enable integration button for Bricklink, and it flashed up that it was queuing for literally a second, and then said it's saving orders and now saving inventory. So the process itself seems to be fairly quick, actually. So we'll see when it completes and what it gives us then. I've enabled Bricklink, and it has run its course and is showing me a correct number of lots and items there, which I've checked. Not really sure why it's only showing 51 orders. I assume it's only able to pull in the orders where item detail is available or something. I'm not really sure what that number is or where it's coming from. But anyway, on to enabling Brick Owl as well, I think. Just got a sale for the Clayface Splat Attack. Another eBay sale from the listings that I put up a week or so ago. This one went for £45, I believe. So just about to get this one packed up and sent off. I've got my first order in since setting up Brick Freedom, and I'm just taking a look at the picking list, which looks very, very different to the Bricklink pick list or the Brick Owl one. Everything just looks so huge on the list, to be honest. So I need to just get used to that a little bit. I've turned a few features on that I maybe don't need, like the colouring. So I've got this green A letter there, and I really only pick one order at a time at the moment, so I'm probably not going to need that, so I may well turn that off. I did print a picking list off for this, just so that I could pick the order itself, just because that's my standard sort of process there. And interestingly, sold another tracer and widowmaker here, so glad to see those moving. I've sold a few of those this week actually. Yeah, I also have got my iPad on charge here, so that I can use the iPad to try picking the orders. I'm not sure what kind of experience I'm expecting with that. I would have to figure out a way to get that mounted onto the trolley here, but I don't anticipate any real problems with that. I'm just not sure if it's something I really want to do, or whether I want to stick to the printouts, but we'll see how that goes. So lots of trial and error going on here, and I'm still not totally sure that my account on Brick Freedom is fully set up yet, so tiny steps at the moment. So without getting a confirmation email from Brick Freedom that my sync was enabled, I actually went ahead and enabled BrickOwl, and you can see immediately that the store synchronization is not currently active. So that clearly means that I do need to wait for them to get back to me and confirm that sync is set up. So that's fine. I'm gonna leave my brick sync activated at the moment, and leave that syncing away, and await confirmation from Steve at Brick Freedom that everything is set up and good to go. I realise now that the store synchronization is not active, but I think that's because I haven't clicked this setup store synchronization button. So when I do this, it's just, I think, telling me that this is a paid service now. And this is telling me that it's a 1% commission on all orders, and that I will need to agree to this. This is a 7-day free trial, of course, so you can back out at any time. But I'm going to agree to this, and I'll see how I get on. Now it's asking me, am I currently using a store syncing service? So it looks like I've got to run some sort of compatibility check. So it's telling me that it's running the compatibility check now, and it's telling me that obviously Bricklink is the master, which is always tends to be the case in these syncing platforms. Now I've no idea how long the compatibility check is going to take, so I'm probably not going to keep recording. Oh, now I've got a status bar. Let's just wait and see how quickly that looks like it's going to move up. So it's not going to take too long, so let's wait and see what happens when the check's complete. So the compatibility check has run, and it's giving me a bunch of information about what actions are going to be taken, telling me that some have been partially matched, some have been matched but not found, and they'll be added to the Bricklink store, and others cannot be found in my primary store, so will be removed. So I need to check into this in a little bit more detail just before I activate this. So I'm going to dig a little deeper and see what's going on. I just started picking my first order using Brick Freedom, and it's a very different experience. But I'm liking it so far. It's really good that you get the picking list. Obviously I'm having to use the iPad to do this instead of using a paper pick list, although you can print the paper. But what's really nice compared to what I was doing with the paper is I was only printing in black and white. So it's really nice that I can see the real color representation of the part, and it's also really nice that I can just mark the item off, not with a checkbox, but with a very clear color differentiation in the items there. So yeah, early days still, and I'm still actually not syncing the stores because I had quite a lot of lots that are not going to sync correctly, and I'm just trying to build a little bit of confidence in the system, trying to check through a few more items, but there's hundreds and hundreds of them, so I can't possibly check every item. Yeah, we'll see how we go with that. I will enable the syncing before too long, I think. Just a little bit more to work through. But at the moment, I'm gonna continue using Brick Freedom to do the picking for the orders that I've got today, and see how we go. I've just been sorting out these 2x2 light blue grey tiles and taking them off these base plates. These were a load of tiles that I had used for my own Lego city that I was trying to build a couple of years back, but of course now that I'm not really doing that as a hobby, I've decided to get them off the base plates and get them into the store. So I've just weighed these, and they're according to weight there were 740 of them. I'm just going to put them into the store as 700 of them, and the quality on them, you know, they've only been on display, so they're really pretty good quality, to be honest, and really very light use, if anything. So I think they'll be a good addition to the store. I'm just trying to clear away a few things that I've got lying around here that I just haven't got listed anywhere. I've been meaning to do these for a while, so I've just thrown these up onto the site. There's a whole range of base plates here. Interesting, I always find the colour differences interesting. You look at these greens are 3 different colours effectively. Obviously that's bright green, but really I've got 2 different shades of green here, which I know is quite common, I guess. You know, they've obviously been done at different points in time, but I always find it interesting if somebody buys the 2 green that they're going to get, you know, differences in colour, but hey, that's what it is. So we've got all sorts in here: greens, tans, a couple of old base plates, and then lots of the grey base plates that have just been sort of phased out, I suppose, with the new road plates that they've started to introduce. Have got just a few 16 by 16 and 16 by 32 that I've listed as well. Got those are new plates that I've got there, and these are used, so I need to just make sure I'm keeping them separate to avoid any confusion as well. Adds a little bit of variety to the store as well, although there can be a bit of a pain to pack when someone buys only sort of 1 or 2 plates and buys nothing else. They can be a little bit of a pain, but hey ho, that's the way things go. I decided to just go ahead and part out the 2 of the Infinity Gauntlet sets that I've got, just to get them out of the way, to be honest, and because there are some decent parts in here, although of course because I'm only parting out 2 sets there's not going to be huge quantities of them. But if we take a look at the part out value here, £122 a set, and that's going to add another 51 lots to my store. So I thought I'll just get them parted out, get them into the store, and you know, we'll try and get them moving. So I've just uploaded the 2 Infinity Gauntlet sets to my Bricklink store, which has taken me back over the 320,000 mark, which is nice because I dropped down below that because of sales and everything. And this is obviously the big challenge in running a store when you want to keep a certain amount of inventory is, you know, you've got sales going out the door and you need to keep replenishing the stock that you're selling. So good to see that going back up. I was hoping to have got it up way beyond this. Still got a few sets to part out in backlog, some Star Wars sets and a few sets that still haven't been inventoried yet. So hopefully we'll see that push up, and I've got quite a bit of used stuff to list as well. So I'm going to press on and get as much uploaded as I can, and hopefully I'll see that number rise. I took delivery of this box about 2 days ago, and I'm just finally getting around to opening it up and checking what's inside. I've opened the box already. I haven't taken a look inside just to see what's in there, but I will give you a heads up that this is the latest tool, shall we say, to help me improve things in the store or for my sales. So let's take a look and see what we've got in here. So these are all sort of packaging materials, and this probably gives the game away now with the name, which, despite the spelling, I'm told actually is referred to as newer. So let me just put that to one side for a second while I just move the box out of the way, and let's try and see if I can get this open with one hand. So there's some tabs on here that I need to pull back. Hopefully that will let me start and open the box up. So something there to be taken out, and then here we go. So the first part of this is all folded up, so I guess you can guess what this is now. It is actually a light box, and this is going to be for me to take better photographs, hopefully, of minifigures in particular for eBay listings. Now, I've showed you my kind of basic setup before, where I just put this, in fact it's on the table here, this kind of white sheet out, drape it over a few boxes with some lighting, and it does the job. But I'm sick of sort of setting things up, so what I want is something a little more permanent. I did look at some of the sort of cheaper options that were available, and this one was about £50, I think. There was a little deal on it at the time, and this just looked a better solution. It folds up nicely if I do need to put it away, and it just looked like it's made of a better quality kind of material. I'll show you this again when I've got it all set up. It all kind of folds out to make the box, and then there are in the box some different backgrounds that you can use in the box. So you get you know, what we've got here: black, white, grey, kind of yellowy goldy colour. So those fit inside the box to make a nice smooth surface to photograph things on. So I'm going to get this set up, and we'll come back and see what it looks like. So I've just set the light box up quickly just so I can show you how it all works and how it looks. I'm really pleased with the look of it, to be honest. It looks really neat. It looks professional. It's a real sort of good quality fabric, vinyl, whatever you want to call it. And it's, I think this is the, I want to say it's the 20-inch version. It's actually, no, sorry, I think it might be 40 centimeters or 30 centimeters at least. Not sure. I'll try and put the details up in the notes below with a link to it. But it all just sort of sticks together by Velcro, but it's quite sturdy and really definitely sturdy enough. Now, if you look at the top here, you'll see where the power comes in for the lighting at the top. And if I was in a different position and if I wanted it to work like this, you can actually photograph through the top. And I've just got a little figure in there to show you. So you can photograph from the top. The way I've got this set up, I don't really intend to do that. I'm going to be taking the pictures from the front here. And the front has the option to either fold down. So you can fold it all down like that. And you can see how tiny a minifigure looks in there. So in a way, you know, if you're just doing minifigures, a smaller one would do. The nice thing about this is it would let me put other things in there. So let me just grab something quick. It'd be dusty as anything, but let's say I wanted something a bit bigger, you know, or even to photograph some sealed sets, I could do that, I guess. It's really nice in that it's got this reflective material around the sides. I've put the white backing in, which fits really nice and quite snug. You can see the lights there at the top. And there is, in fact, a cloth here. Now, this is to act as a kind of a soft box. And I'm going to try this shortly. So the cloth would velcro up the top over the lights to just soften the light that emits from the box. And the other nice thing is you can leave this the whole front up, and then you can just unzip the flap at the front and fold this back, and there's a little bit of velcro on the top. And yeah, so you can just take your pictures from inside the flap. If I switch there to a 3x zoom, then that would be something like the image looks now. And remember, I haven't actually got the light on at the minute. Now, the way that the light works is via remote control. So you've got this remote that comes with it. And if I just power it on, you'll see now that it is lit up. And you can see, if I just switch back to that sort of 3x zoom, that's kind of roughly how it's gonna look before touching anything up. Let me just move back on the zoom. And if I look at the remote, you can also dim the lights. Let me just try and focus in here. So you can dim to 25%, 50%. I don't know if you can see things changing in there. 75%, and then finally 100%. And you can just see it getting brighter all of the time. Now, the other thing about this particular model, although this wasn't something I particularly wanted, was you can change the colors of the LEDs. And nothing that I'm obviously gonna want, but you know, possibly a useful feature for somebody. But for me, I just really want the white. You can even further adjust the brightness up and down manually by the look of it. And I'm not sure just yet what all of these controls at the bottom do, but I'll figure that out. But I've took a couple of sample pictures, which I will try and put up and show you guys. But I'm really pleased with it on initial thoughts. And the ones I was gonna buy was the real cheap flimsy ones for about £20. I just thought, you know what, if it's going to be stood up and you know, visible in the room all of the time, I wanted something that looked pretty reasonable when not in use as well. And I think this this does that job as well. So very happy with it so far. So Apple have finally announced the event that I'm most anxious for. I've been waiting for years for a new 27-inch iMac, and this next event by Apple is likely to be a Mac-specific event. I think in reality they're probably only going to release new laptops, so I'll still be devastated and still holding on to my money and waiting until next year probably. But if they do announce a 27-inch or a 32-inch iMac, then I'm going to be jumping right onto that. Alternatively, of course, if they did something unexpected and came out with a new monitor, I'd maybe go with that, something, a cheaper version of the $5,000 XDR display that they do at the moment. I'd probably get one of those with a Mac Mini. But let's wait and see. I'm really excited for this event. This is going to be streamed on Monday the 18th, so can't wait. I've just spent 30 minutes or so sorting out what was a large-ish tub of tiles. So I've sorted them into their relevant sizes for now. And now I need to do another pass through them and sort by colour and count them and get them into the store. So that's the next job for this morning. Just back from my local supermarket after picking up a few groceries, and added these little sets to the part out pile. These are 76901, the Toyota GR Supra, and I have had these in the past, but they were on a reasonable offer in store. And looking at the part out value, I decided I would jump in and get another 5 of these. Part out value is about 40 something pounds, and these are £13.50 each, so really good part out value there. So add them to the pile and we'll get them parted out before too long.